What's up, guys? Today, well, I'm on the PTR. I'm going to show you something that's coming in 10.1 that I think is going to be pretty good for gold making, and something that makes a perfect build for alts, for an alt army, if you have one. This has been a thing in the past. You can do it, even this expansion, with tailoring cooldown cloth. And now you can do it with alchemy as well. Even better. I mean, there's been transmute in the game since the beginning. They're a little bit boring, but now we got a new item. We got a new item to craft. So what is it? Well, it's called the Draco transmute. You can only make them through this transmute. Now, obviously, some of you might be wondering, but Lazy, what is this item? Why do we care about this? Oh, well, obviously the only source is transmutes. So if this item is useful or strong in any way, then, I mean, supply is going to be limited by cooldowns. People can't craft these whenever they want, so that's going to keep the price high and keep a decent profit for a very long time, similar to what we've seen with the cooldown cloth. So then what is this item used for? What is this item used for? Well, a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things. There's 9 recipes it's used in. But the 2 most important ones are the 2 right smack dab in the middle here. Enchanted Worm's Shadow Flame Crest and Enchanted Aspect Shadow Flame Crest. These are the new optional crafting reagent to add item level to your epic gear. So this is similar to Primal Focus and Concentrated Primal Focus and Infusions in 10.0. This is what people use to get their crafting gear to max item level. You need to craft these. The Mythic eye level one, it takes 2 Dracothist, and the Heroic item level uses a single Dracothist. So people are going to need these. People are going to need this. We can also see that it's needed for the File Cauldron, which I'm assuming a lot of guilds are going to be doing. So you can expect 1 or 2 of these per guild night, and then people are going to want 2 of these per week or per every other week, depending on the exact unlock schedule of the what are they called, the new sparks. There's also some optional crafting reagents to add new embellishment effects, and even this crafted piece of mail armor, and a toy and a tinker. But this one is the big one in the middle here. Everyone is going to want multiple Dracothist, and you can't really craft these particularly quickly, as I showed you. It stacks up to 10 charges. You get 1 charge back in about 16 hours if you're fully spec'd. So you can't craft these too often. You can only craft, well, if you have all of your charges, and you can craft enough for 5 people to get a mythic item level piece, and then you have to wait about a decent couple of days, like 5 days, to get those back, and then you can craft 5 more. So this is very limited in terms of how quickly you can craft these, which means that the price is going to be high. There's no BOP. You just craft these, make them, sell them on the auction house. Very nice, very easy. Of course, you're going to be selling them on the region-wide auction house, so there is going to be competition, but it's still going to be good. Now, the next part that's really nice about these, specifically for the alt army point of view, is that, well, as you can see here, if you look in the top of my inventory, this Dracothist, there's no quality. There's no diamonds in the corner. There's no quality, no recipe difficulty. It's just a Dracothist. Your skill, completely irrelevant. The only thing that matters in terms of making a profit here is your resourcefulness and your multicraft. That's it. Everything else you don't need. So that means you only need to put points into stuff that gives you resourcefulness or multicraft, specifically for transmutes or Dracothists, and there's really not many nodes to put stuff into. You have the transmutation node that makes resourcefulness stronger for transmutations, and most importantly gives you the final node that turns your max charges from 7 to 10, and also reduces the cooldown per charge. And then you have this, this one, resourceful routines. This is the resourcefulness node. So if you're going to do this, put 5 points in alchemical theory, then max out transmutation, then 10 more points in alchemical theory, and then max out resourceful routines, and then you're done. There's really not much more value you can get anywhere in the tree. There's like a small amount of resourcefulness up here, but it's completely irrelevant. That's 65 points. 65 points to be pretty much maxed out. 25 to get access to the main bonus of the market. And honestly, I expect these to be profitable, even almost if you're not running any stats or anything at all. Obviously, multi-craft and resourcefulness as well, very important, which means that you need to get quality 5 crafting gear if you can. So hopefully you have some metal lying around so you can get these crafted. That's the most important thing, I would say, in terms of what you what you need, because multi-craft in particular is generally extremely good for these kinds of crafts, and getting a max quality multi-craft rare tool is definitely going to drive profit to a significant degree. Now, to get the recipe is from the new zone, from Satellite Cavern. And you get it from our friends underground, the Niffles or whatever they're called. So it's from the bartering, the barter bricks that drop all around the zone. They drop from treasures, they drop from events. You need 25 barter bricks and 99 barter pebbles. Then you can buy another item from one of the vendors, and then you go to Misty, the vendor that sells the recipe for transmute Draco Thist. Based on the recipe costs, based on like the prices of these recipes, my expectation is that this is not a lot of farming. So a lot of people will get this recipe. It looks like, I haven't tested this specifically on PTR because I don't like farming, as you all know. But to my eyes, this is probably an hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less of dedicated effort to get the recipe. Which means that there's going to be a lot of competition, but it also means that it's realistic to set up an army of alts, because you can do this on many characters. You need to get 25 knowledge, and you need to get the recipe, and then you're doing it. Then it's gonna work. Which is why this is so nice. So if any of you, for instance, already set up crafting alt armies for tailoring, then now's the time to do the same for alchemy and get going. Now the last thing I wanted to mention for this market. Some of you will have noticed this when I had the professional window open earlier. The Draco Thist requires silken gem dust, our good old unstable elementium friend. So there is a chance. Unstable elementium has obviously been trending down in price lately because, well, people have stopped buying as much unstable elementium because it's like 2 weeks left of the patch, and then the ring is going to be worse than anything we can get. So unstable silken gem dust is going down in price, but there's a chance that it's going to go up again, obviously with the Draco Thist. There's also the chance that it doesn't. This is cooldown locked, so we're not going to spam this recipe for hours and hours every day like people potentially do with the unstable elementium. Then again, there's also a limited amount of unstable elementium people need per character. But I mean, worst case scenario, the price is going to stay roughly the same for the gem dust, and it's going to be a pretty good idea to have some ready to go. So I definitely, if you have an alchemist and you're planning to go for this army, or if you have multiple alchemists, then definitely buying a couple of thousand of gem dust might not be such a bad idea. I think that this is going to be a very profitable recipe early on. Because everyone needs it. Everyone who's into PvE, PvP, plays the end game. There you need Draco Thist to upgrade their gear. And if there's one thing we know that players are always interested in paying for, it's upgrading their gear. It's one of the most profitable things in the game to do. So yeah, that's it. Now you know about Draco Thist and what you need to do to make a profit with it. So yeah, good luck.